Hello, it is currently May 3rd, 2018. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm doing an astrological sign reading for the month of May 2018, and the sign that I have chosen is Gemini. So I'm actually a Gemini through my moon sign, and I'm just realizing that. So I feel like it's really important that you're learning this month. Interesting, because Geminis do love to learn. So I'm going to be doing a general monthly one as well, because I'm really noticing a theme. People are getting, the same cards, and some signs more than other signs. But it is important to learn that moon sign as well, so your sun sign and moon, because even that happened yesterday. I was teaching a class, and the girl said, I'm a Libra and all this stuff, but I don't resonate with it, but she resonated with Virgo. So Six of Air, there's a lot of talent here. I really sense and feel. Like nutrition's coming up a little bit, but it's more about I feel like just messages, like you're probably receiving messages as to what to eat. Lately I've been talking about eating more nuts for people. Like those healthy oils that you need. So if you have a strict diet and you're very regiment about it, I feel like there's nothing really negative that can hurt you if you have a strong energy field. But we have to build that up. So just keeping that in mind, that if we're just new to some of this stuff, we just have to be a little more cautious and careful, because we're just building up our energy fields, or building up our ki, our life force, what makes us happy, our immune systems, that sort of thing. So just if you can identify with that, that's great, and if not, it's totally fine. Things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip, Six of Air, I love that. I'm going on a trip this month. So since January, people have been going through a lot of challenges and difficulties. So since it's May now, thank goodness, yay, weather's getting nicer for some people. There's more respect, I kind of feel like, because it's you're done with the way that things used to be. And there's a lot of gratitude around that. So I feel like there's such good energy for you guys, because it's you're not afraid to deal with things anymore. I'm just sensing the people who have experienced a lot of trauma in their life are saying goodbye to the old and never going back. I love that. But there still are some aspects that we have to kind of seek balance with, and look within our past at times to just see how we can collect some things that have happened and just strengthen that as well. So we're not putting a band-aid over things, we're really healing old wounds. And I love that card. The Scorpio moon that we just had was a brilliant moon. It was deep, and it brought up a lot of maybe dark stuff, but it's now sunny, so it's all right, it was a little bit stormy and all this crap happened, but now we're educated and we understand, even learning about the moons. I'm doing healing retreats now every month around the moon, and I love that. It's funny how we just fall into things. So dancing is really coming up for you guys, music, getting up and moving your bodies. It's so good for our soul. Eating soul food, soul journaling, anything to do with your soul. So I just did a reading for the last sign as well, and it's so funny. We have 6 cards. I pulled up 6 cards for them. They had every card was blue except for one, and it was green. And you guys are going more bluey purple, whereas they were light blues and then a green. So green for Tauruses is money, whereas you guys are you're the more of the thought function. And so they were connecting to the earth, where you guys are more connecting to your spiritual, I sense. I feel like people watching this are working on more strength, as I was just speaking of, and 11 is a very spiritual number. Giving me some healing. I needed this. I think connecting with birds for support. You will find if you hear a bird or listening to the birds, they're very supportive in your ideas and your thoughts. So it's weird, but they're there. And even when I said the healing retreat, I feel like people may be curious. So you can check out robinshealing.com or at Robin's Healing on Facebook, where I post my events and that sort of thing. So it's fun, it's great. It's a great way to get together with other people. So great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. Uh, Working on the being in the present, because I don't really focus on predicting the future. And same with like, although I'm a medium, I tend to not focus all my energy on speaking to spirit, like speaking to people's loved ones that have passed directly and bringing in that energy, even though I feel them. And same with, I just feel like it's about like letting go. Just let go of everything. That's what's really coming up. And that's why you're being called into working on the present. And I think that's why I work on the present, because I teach people how to let things go. And if we focus too much in the future and we focus too much on the past, it takes away from our how we're feeling spiritually. So I know we have to go into those things in order to heal, but we don't want to stay in that. And that I feel like people can stay in that, especially Geminis, because they soak it up, right? We're like sponges. So be honest with yourself. There may be a person that feels a little bit trapped. The partner may feel trapped. They may feel trapped. They may be in trapped energy. That could also be another word for stuck. And it's a person who doesn't feel like they have proper freedom in their life. So that may be around May 12th to May 16th or May 17th. Now, May 17th is supposed to create like a big shift for people. And that makes sense because I believe that the new moon is on the 15th. So just after that, you're going to be finding really positive new energy. And it's interesting because that's one of the cards that is a little bit different than all the other ones, which is like a strong purple. And it's talking about honesty and truth. So when we're dealing with blue, it's all about truth. So truth seeking, and it can make us feel like we need more calming energy, more soothing energy. So I'm trying to get to the ocean more and that sort of thing. I am feeling guided to my blues. I have my like blue and green ring on. But finance is coming through really strong, and I think maybe people are worried or they're not educated enough about how to like work with money. I'm one of them. And I'm really deciding like, okay, like organize this because it's so important. So recognizing that it's not about like up here, like you're not stupid, but it's a process in your mind how to wrap your head around money. So if you look at that and maybe that's something that you're letting go, maybe you were bad at math and that's why you don't like working with money sometimes. So we have to build those self-esteems up and tell us like, what are we good at? What do we need to do in order to feel better about this? That sort of thing. So really working on the new circumstances and not the old ones so much. The old stuff is kind of yucky. And I'm doing more live videos on Facebook as well. So I feel like, and when you check out my Robin's healing group as well, when you go on there, it's just an opportunity to like talk to other people. So I think it's important that you guys are still being open to learning from others. And a contract is also coming up, like a strict contract. And then I feel like you're kind of laughing about that. I could even relate to that. So nothing is ever really, when it comes to like time, I feel like when we measure things in terms of time, that's where the strength comes up. It is helpful when we can measure things in time because then we can understand things better. And we don't want to procrastinate. We want to keep moving. But you're going to find the systems work when we work in time. But it's more about like, I think this travel energy. When we travel, we lose track of time and we fixate less. And we start to take better care of ourselves, even though you may find in your trip you're not choosing the healthiest things. That joy is what is actually helping you. So just acknowledging how, because time and money is very much connected, how that's working for you. Do you find that like your system around time works for your mental? Do you do your checkbook, balance your checkbook on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? Does that bring you joy or does that bring you depression? When you open up the bills, do you get sad or do you get excited? Do you look forward to it? Is it planned? Does it just happen? I'm understanding now that it's the root. It's about the root chakra as well, but it's like what's underneath that? Why do you stress about time? Why do you stress about money? And that's where the meditation practice comes up, where we're meditating outside, which I'm now doing my healing circle for a meditation class May 10th. I want to get people together and really work on some of these things, because I think that there's a lot of layers to people. Of course there is, but that's where the strength comes up. There's so much success around understanding that and finding that. Like, that's how I started my business, because I studied psychology and I was so fascinated by the way that the mind works, and how when I started doing my Reiki healing, and now I'm teaching that, I realized, oh my God, this is like, not only was it the spiritual stuff through my gifts of channeling, but it was more like, wow, like every single person is so different from the next. And I mean, when I started working with energy, that's when it really shifted things for me. So seeing through people would be the best thing. I think a lot of sensitive people like working with animals. Hanky! I was actually put my chair out because I wanted the dog to be with me. Hank! Animals, and working more with charities, so giving back. Giving people constructive criticism is really important. Even when we're in like a therapy class, that sort of thing, we can still, like, we don't have to worry about speaking our mind and speaking our truth. That's what the blue is about, if we know that it's honest and coming from the heart. So it's not our job to control how people like react to things. Saying goodbye to the old, or saying goodbye to things and people, is really important, all right? Because that's a form of control as well. We can't hang on to things that aren't serving us anymore, and that may affect us on an emotional level, but when we can kind of get into our spiritual selves and realize that those emotions can also be controlled from our thoughts and shifting into a positive state, that'll be amazing. So that's probably why we have opportunity to forgive. I feel like some people are as so much, like maybe even depressed, that they're sick to their stomach, or they worry to the point where they're sick to their stomach, or they're afraid to tell like you what they think, that sort of thing. You know, it could be me. Maybe you don't like this video, or there's something you would change about it, but you're scared to tell me. So branch open, give yourself more freedom to speak your truth and tell people how you feel. Even if it's not like the most positive thing, if it's coming from your heart and you want to share it, then you have to trust that that's okay, all right? So even this lady here has a koala bear in the picture. And so working with animals and children tend to bring out a lot of joy within us. But if you have children, you may need to work more with the animals, because you feel like you need more comfort for yourself rather than for the other one. So because we give so much to others, and that's the energy that we're kind of in right now, is like giving to others, the animals do something very like amazing for us. And actually, so it's funny, you guys are the only ones where I wanted Hank in the picture for us. The dreamer, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. I actually feel like towards the end of the month, I was talking about May 17th, there being a shift, you're going to find there's like less judgment in your life. Other people are going to be judging less. You're going to be judging less, because we're the energy's shifting. But in the meanwhile, before that, everything, just kind of take everything with a grain of salt, because you may find it's like, there'll be more like full moon energy and more confusion and that sort of thing. So, don't be like, working with protection energy is positive. Check out my Robin's Healing Instagram as well. I kind of feel like that's important for some people. Because I think we're letting go of like avenues that we once wanted that suited us at that moment, but it's not suiting us anymore. So let go of the old, because it's not who you are anymore. Like, I change my energy daily, and it doesn't mean I have a mood disorder. It means that I react to things within my environment, within the universe, and it's my job to kind of like deal and handle that. But that may mean that one day I'm working from home, and the next day, you know, I'm working in a huge group setting, something like that. And it may be that like I have my overheads, like I don't have to pay for anything at home, and that's wonderful. And then other times it may be that I have to pay $500 for something out in the public, and logically it doesn't make any sense. But because I'm shifting and I have to like go with what's happening, it may seem like I'm changing quickly, but I feel like I have to change quickly, because if I want to adapt to new situations and learn, that's how it's going to be. So we may have originally thought, well, my goal in talking about a time frame and finance, maybe like, well, I expected by May 2018 that I would already be sitting on like, you know, maybe like a business loan or something like that. Whereas it may be like it comes along and it's like, actually, I decided like that's not what I want at all. I actually want like simplicity and more like free events, stuff like that. So I guess I'm saying this because I think it's important that we identify with our goal setting and time frames for finance, which is great. I have chills around that. But that opportunity to forgive and that sickness to our stomach is actually what's causing a little bit of problem, because it's also kind of connected to the faith and that sort of thing. It's like, seek balance, all right? We don't need to be always like one thing. I guess that's why I was giving that example of, as we're shifting and changing, we're identifying with ourselves. So we're going to make mistakes. Things aren't going to be easy. But if we acknowledge what we're releasing and how we feel when we travel, that energy, we realize that the stuff we were getting caught up in really wasn't that important, was it? I love that we're ending in the World card. It's so weird that when I did the Taurus reading, that this very similar stuff came up. So obviously the end of May is going to be a time for people where you're feeling like, maybe it's like you do natural healing or you want natural healing. It's just kind of all around you. You may feel like you're healed by nature. Nature heals you. You eat nature, you eat natural, just from grabbing an apple off the tree, and that is like, oh, I didn't even feel like an apple, but all of a sudden there's an apple tree and I can pull an apple off of it and eat it. Wow, my body feels nourished and it was free and it's right here for me. So put that hand out and start receiving. Receiving at the end of the month, you're going to find, just by putting out your hand, something positive is going to come to you. Now my left hand is burning, so there's someone watching who is in a relationship where the other person needs some healing and cleansing, and they may be a little more negative than you are, but it could be because that they don't understand this stuff. So sometimes when we also learn our Reiki level 1, which I'm teaching online now, which is amazing, you can help your partners as well, all right? Sometimes we don't learn for ourselves. We're learning to obviously help others. And sometimes the closest people in our lives are the ones that need the deepest healing, all right? So just being mindful that we're affected by those people also, so it's not always our energy. So that's a whole nother topic that I'll probably do a live reading on Facebook about, all right? So have an awesome month. Thank you so much, Gemini, and take care. Bye.